Greetings. I am reading to you today from the Marilyn Schuler classroom in the Anne Frank Memorial in Boise, Idaho. I'm sitting next to a table that is just like the table that Anne Frank wrote her famous diary at many years ago. A sick day for Amos McGee. Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning when the alarm clock clanged, he swung his legs out of bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh, pressed uniform. He would wind his watch and set out a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 for my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he'd amble out the door. How do we amble? Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. Let's remember which bus he takes. "Next stop, City Zoo," the bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends first. He would play chess with the elephant, who thought and thought and thought before making a move. He would run races with the tortoise, who never, ever lost. He would sit quietly with the penguin, who was very, very shy. And he would lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose. Do you have a runny nose sometimes? And at sunset, he would read stories to the owl, who was afraid of the dark. One day, though, Amos awoke with the sniffles and the sneezes and the chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. He's used to playing chess, isn't he? The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered up. Look at those tortoises' long legs. The penguin sat patiently, all by himself. The rhinoceros worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl perched on top of a stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. Where is Amos? The animals wondered. Later that day, what do you think is happening here? They came out of the door of the city zoo. Here's a little bus stop sign. They're waiting and waiting. And here comes the number 5 bus. And there they all squeezed in. I'll bet you can guess where they're going. Amos McGee said, "Hooray, my good friends are here." The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought and thought before making a move. "I'm too tired to run races today," said Amos to the tortoise. "Let's play hide and seek instead." The tortoise hid inside his shell, and Amos hid beneath the covers. Amos yawned. "I could take a nap." The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm. "Achoo!" Amos awoke with a sneeze. And guess who was ready with a handkerchief? The rhinoceros. "I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you," said Amos. To his friends, he swung his legs out of bed. "Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea." So here's Mr. Owl over here making tea. Amos wound his alarm clock. "It's getting late," he said. "After all, we have a morning bus to catch." So Amos said good night to the elephant, good night to the tortoise, Good night to the penguin. Good night to the rhinoceros. And good night to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. And they all curled up and spent the night together. Did you have a favorite animal in this book? Talk about why you liked that animal. What inspired these animals to go to Amos's house when he was missing that day at the zoo? Were they thinking about him? Think about acts of kindness that you have seen or that you have done for a family member or a friend or an animal. And let's think of more and more acts of kindness all the time. Thanks for listening.